This is Tuesday, the 11th of March 2025. My name is Moses Okech, and as we start over the conversation, allow me to introduce my guest, then to roll it out.
Thank you. I'm Kezia Kinyaru, a caregiver and a mom to a Down syndrome boy.
Right.
Yes.
Wow, the Down syndrome conversation is not had so much. Why?
I think the awareness has not really gone out there, but we are trying. We already have an organization called the T21 in Kenya, where it's a group of moms who have come together to kind of raise awareness and just, you know, kind of put the information out there in public.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. I was reading something that Down syndrome, a congenital condition characterized by a distinctive pattern of physical characteristics, including a flattened skull, pronounced folds of skin in the inner corners of the eyes, large tongue, and short stature, and by some degree of limitation of intellectual ability. It usually arises from a defect involving chromosome 21, usually an extra copy, in other terms, trisomy 21. That's particular definition of the Down syndrome. But for a layman's language to understand entirely this, how well can you define that?
Well, to a layman's person, it would be the physical features. So mostly you will find they have like a bridge that is shorter for the nose. The eyes are kind of almond shaped, like small eyes, that is. Not all of them are short. You'll find that those are, you know, taller, but there are some distinct features. The ears are a bit, you know, drooped and all that. Yeah, so those are some of the things that we can look out for. Typically, you and I, and probably everyone in this room, we have 46 chromosomes which pair. But for them, they have one extra chromosome, so they have 47. Yes.
Wow. Lesson for biology as well.
Kind of, but yeah.
Is it 46?
Typically for us, but for them they have an extra chromosome,
which now brings the deformation.
Yes, and so much comes with that. So I would talk from the point of a caregiver. There's a slow development, there's delayed milestones. So if a typical baby is walking at 2, you'll find a Down syndrome baby will walk at around 4 or even longer. That will also come with the speech, which is delayed, and even the cognitive part of it. And they have a low muscle tone. Yes.
And you've been part of the situation, of course.
Yes.
Yes. The lovely viewers, of course, that are watching us live will really like to understand and listen to your story,
yes,
even as you share with us.
So, it's not something I was expecting. He's a boy called Jaden, who happens to be the second born in the family. And you get into the maternity and you're told they need to do some screening. Of course, not all hospitals will do, but some will. And I tell you, there's a case of Down syndrome. Now, most hospitals will not test. They will send you to a different lab where you need to get the testing to determine what type of Down syndrome is there, because there are three. There are 3 types. And so, yeah, that was our journey. And I think most of it is, first of all, denial. And then, of course, comes with acceptance.
How are you handling denial at that point when you realize that this thing is a reality?
Denial in the sense you've not seen it before, you've not experienced it before, but here comes and you're the mom and this is a child that is looking up to you for survival, because they come with health conditions, that is heart conditions, defects, that is. So many other problems that come, pneumonia because of the low muscle tone, they're not able to suckle. And so you have to kind of get support, a lot of support. From either other moms who've gone through it, or get counseling.
No.
Yes.
So before you get to acceptance and accepting all this, you have to live with this kid for quite some time.
Before you get to know it, you have to kind of maneuver and just dive into just thinking what you could do because you don't know best. Personally, in my case, my baby was not able to suckle. I didn't know why.
Wow.
Until I went to hospital, we were admitted because of dehydration, and then I was able to know it's because of the low muscle tone. But since then, we as moms are trying to raise awareness. As I said, we have the T21 organization that is for everyone, and it's free. It's to encourage moms that are getting newborns that have Down syndrome to just know how to navigate that journey, because it's not an easy journey. It's not.
From the hospital
From
to
the
home.
hospital to, because there are things that you have to do, therapy, which includes occupational therapy, which is teaching these kids how to be independent in life, because you don't want to support them even in their adulthood. Speech therapy. So those are the things that moms are supporting each other on. And most of the kids, most of them have heart defects, so most of them have to go out of the country for heart surgery and correction. And yeah, so those are some of the little things that I would say, not little, not so little, but some of the tidbits that are there in the journey of Down syndrome.
Indeed. Are you able to also to just give us a grasp on your development to accepting the fact that now this thing is happening and I have to live into this particular situation?
Well, as I said, first of all, there's denial, and then you kind of just surrender to the situation and see how it goes. And then you realize as the years go on, you just have to kind of, you know, show up. So I did show up. I started therapy a bit late, but it came in handy.
It's part of treatment.
It's part of treatment. Now, this therapy, you could find it in government hospitals, but it takes, there's a lot of bureaucracy, if I may say. You're given a card which you could go today and not get the therapist. So if you need the best care, probably you have to sort the private therapists. Yes.
Indeed. I'm seeing, of course, right here, some of the behaviors of a Down syndrome baby, which is stubbornness, impulsivity, and temper tantrums. Did you experience that as well?
All the time. Sometimes they will resist to do things, even when they know they're the right things to do. They will be stubborn because probably you do not understand exactly what they want, and the fact is they do not have fully developed speech, so you don't know exactly what they want.
You might give them the wrong thing,
or you're not even doing what they want. Not even the wrong thing, you're not doing what they want. So there is that aspect of being stubborn, like this is not how I want it, this is how I do it. Some of them have the tendencies of perfectionism. They want to things in a particular way. They have to make sure the doors are closed. They don't want dirt on themselves. Yeah, so there's an aspect of, and they don't want, some don't want noises. Yeah, so there is that behavioral things that you have to go through therapy for them to be corrected.
On the temper part, wanaweza kuchapa?
No, no.
They're not violent?
No. They're not. They're the most happy beings. They're like they have an extra chromosome.
Wow.
So,
yeah. Of course, you
they
have.
are jovial, by the way.
Wow.
Very jovial.
Amazing. So even though ukienda vibaya, it will be in our chaos.
No, they don't usually get angry, which is weird. They don't get angry. They will be smiling most of the times. They're happy. They're in a happy place. Stubbornness means when you're telling them to do something, like let's go, then they're adamant to do it. That's the stubborn bit of it. Yes.
Also eager to understand the situation in your family now, as far as now the husband is there. Also the husband now is in the moment of denial and has to accept that now this is our child and this is how we can raise the child. This is the entire process. How did you develop that now, introducing the entire moment, a father and a mother, towards this particular child that has the symptoms?
Well, everybody has to go through the motions. As a mother, I go through my motions. The father goes through the motions in terms of, do I accept this? Do I run away? Indeed. Of course. As a mother, it's a full-time job. Now, fortunately, most most people will get the support, but then you will find that there are dads that will not be able to take it. They don't even know how to handle the child from the beginning. But the hardest part is about now integration of, because now schedules have to change, the way you do things has to change, the diet sometimes, and even to the siblings, the way they behave. But I think overall, the biggest takeaway was the support. The support is really immense, and it's important, and it goes a long way. Yes.
And there's also a question on the sense that now we are having this particular symptom now coming in. But do they also get, like for instance, adults like you? We're in the position now that you want to get married and have siblings. Is there a situation that also you can get pregnant and then?
Yes, we have seen so many of them have families. Yes, thing is, we just have to have early interventions of therapy, therapy, and include them because they do learn things. They are capable of loving, and we have stories of people who've married, and yes.
Indeed. What are some of the challenges that you've gone through in embracing this child or these children as a caregiver, and now you feel like if we emphasize on the same, therefore we'll be on a greater angle to achieving the preventive measures and the treatment measures as well?
Challenges is lack of information first, like you have no idea how to go about it. And so, as I said, unless you have this support from the public, from other moms who've been before you, from the society around you, it's a challenge raising them up. It comes with a lot of financial needs. Because again, as I said, there's the diet needs, there's a special treatment in terms of the therapy, you need a special needs teacher. So those are some of the challenges, and then the people around you might not understand. They think you're not doing enough to help this child, catch up with the peers. So it's almost like a constant journey of explaining yourself and trying to educate them. Another challenge, I think, would be school. We are lacking inclusion in like a holistic thing, in terms of you want to take them to a special school, but you still want them to experience the normal school inclusivity. Yes, in both worlds. Yes, so those are challenges.
So can two people with Down syndrome get a normal child?
Not sure, not really sure, but I've seen a couple. I'm not very sure if the child was or did have Down syndrome. Yes, but it's normal for them to have families.
High chances?
Yes.
High chances is a normal child?
Yes, they could get.
Wow.
Yes.
If at all a school is offering a unit for the Down syndrome, what are some of the elements that they should consider to accommodate this particular lifestyle?
Definitely life skills, independent skills in life. Teach them how to brush, teach them how to, put on clothes, how to talk to other people, how to be in a group of people and they can fit in, blend in. So life skills, teach them how to cook, show them, because some of them don't have the sense of danger. Train them on what is dangerous and what is good. Yes, so those are some of the things really, really that could matter. Skills that could help them, navigate through life as adults. Yeah.
Or I'm seeing a parent, for example, a parent that has a child with Down syndrome, and ever since she realized or he realized that the child is sick, up to that moment she's never allowed the child get out or engage or interact. Do we also, that is also a preventive measure design on stigmatization and understanding, of course, the context now when he or she interacts with the other society, they might start laughing at them.
Yeah, there's that. You don't know what is going to happen to your child out there, because definitely we say speech is part of one of the challenges that they go through. Again, one of the reasons why we are raising the awareness as T21 is because you will find you as the adult, you're training your child not to play with this child who has Down syndrome because you think your child might pick up what this child has. So I think one of the things and one of the myths that we need to correct, Down syndrome is not a disease. It's not a flu that anyone can get. Whatever that child has cannot come to your child. So you like I don't know, sijui sitaki uende karibu. No, you can't contact it. It's just what it is. That it's like someone having a broken leg. You can break your leg because you associated with them. So we do have parents who will lock their children up, but I think part of the awareness is let these kids interact with the outside world. Of course under supervision, because we know, well, there's a lot of malice in the world, and you kind of also need to be the #1 protector of these children. So yes.
You mentioned something about feelings. So they might not know if the society do hate them.
Of course, everyone has that innate feeling that maybe so and so is not a good person, but sometimes like there's an oncoming car, a typical child might move away. The Down syndrome child who has probably doesn't have enough therapy or skills will kind of walk towards the car because something is fascinating them. Yes. Maybe the lights, you know. Yeah.
The space of interaction, the feelings, and the entire thing. Definitely, we are in the next few minutes. We'll be going for a break. Therefore, of course, we'll be able to understand now how will the Ministry of Health come in and adjust to this and help all the Down syndrome patients right in the country, and of course the health sector also to initiate these kind of processes to assist them in the best way possible. But allow me to say this. Definitely, of course, as the institution or the society, there are ways that we can really adjust to the same. What do you think are some of the challenges that are affecting institutions and the society in achieving the accommodation of the Down syndrome patients?
I would say lack of knowledge, ignorance, and just being human. We are humans, so we want to brush off that which is not easy. But I think with a bit of embracing and including everyone, I think would be in a better place. Yes. Life skills you mentioned. Life skills.
As far as now, do we have also other elements of study that can assist Down syndrome patients?
Yes. You could get train people on what is it called, without like enhanced speech. Using like the audios. They listen more. They will listen more. Use things like the pictures and things like that. So those are some of the things that can be used to enhance their learning.
Indeed. There's someone watching, of course, online. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know someone that knows someone or knows someone that has the Down syndrome, this is part of the conversation that you must get involved. Of course, send in your comments right here on Facebook. We really help us understand, of course, the context behind Down syndrome, which is not a normal conversation for many, but now we are making the normalcy as they create awareness towards this particular you didn't say that it's a disease, right?
It's not a disease.
It's a condition.
It's a condition.
It's a condition. So helping us to understand that particular condition.
Yeah.
Perhaps you also, as you create awareness, there are awareness to the young people and there are awareness to the adults. How can we balance the shape between understanding that watoto wadogo, they'll understand that this is a particular society that we need to embrace, and the adults, what is the sense of balance in it?
I want to believe the young ones are like cups that you fill. So it is what you are saying to them, it is what you're doing or how you're behaving towards the kids with Down syndrome that will shape up these young ones. If you keep pulling them aside so that they don't play with the kids with Down syndrome, they will follow suit. As the adults, I think, without sounding rude, first of all, stop staring. Stop staring at these kids. Yeah, like you keep staring at them or over attention. No, just behave normally. There's nothing wrong with them. Just behave normally, and then we will flow with with that. Yes.
Kuna Swahili saying inasema usitukane mkunga uzazi ungalipo.
Kama uzazi ungalipo.
Kama uzazi ungalipo, sivyo?
Yes.
Therefore, there are many parents also watching, and maybe they've been in that situation. Is it a room for correction as part of the?
Definitely.
How will you tell them? How will you tell them that ile kitu ulifanya was wrong?
Let's embrace people. We do not know, some of these people turn out to be very great people. Yes. And
are there great people with this?
Definitely. We have seen gymnastics. They are very flexible, by the way, so they tend to achieve great milestones, especially in sports. They're very good swimmers. Their memory is yes.
Nice.
Yes. So don't write them out yet. They have potential.
Indeed.
Yes.
Of course, tell a parent in the next few minutes, tell a parent that now has a child with Down syndrome and really tries to find out how can he or she help the child out. You mentioned something on sports.
Yes.
How does this parent now assist the Down syndrome kid in ensuring that now the talent is seen and the talent is visible? Because also to pose a question on, are there areas, best areas that these Down syndrome patients can get access to jobs, creations, or do something amazing about that?
Well, for the parents who have children or teens or adults that have Down syndrome, hang in there, get the support that you need, but most importantly, be the pillar that child is looking at, and give them the necessary support. And I think one of the things that we can do is identifying what these children like. Most of them are so much into playing music, listening to music. So those are some of the skills that we can try and enhance. And as we are preaching this gospel, there's a very active group called the T21, comprised of moms and dads who have kids with Down syndrome. Get in there. There's help that you can get, referrals and all that. Yes.
All right, thank you so much, Kezia, for those lovely thoughts on Down syndrome. Now, when you come back for the conversation on, of course, understanding mental health and understanding the balance between that, of course, how the health ministry can come along, we'll shape that conversation in the next session, right? Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are having a short break just to take a breather and contemplate on Down syndrome. When we come back, what is your view on Down syndrome right in the country, even as the awareness continues? Of course, this is the month of March. Let us embrace this to the fullness of time. Don't go too far. We'll be right back.
Save a Life is a non-profit organization that has taken the front line in transforming lives in the entire country. So far, we have transformed life of over 100,000 people through our programs, which include medical support, youth empowerment, street family program, feeding program, and climate change. Join us today as we transform lives. As we always say, service to humanity is service to God. Save a life, transforming lives.
If you want to have a proper outlook of the economy, then you have to speak to the wheels and gears of the integral businesses in the country.
And I want to be able to make the youths and everybody coming up in Kenya know that this is here locally.
Men and women in the thick of the bust of markets rising and falling, fighting to make their business decisions stick.
I've always lived in my career that I can never be late.
You need to train by yourself. You need to practice by yourself. Then from there you can compose yourself and give kind of services like this.
On season 2 of the Captain's Arena, we seek the inside of the minds, predict the shift in the markets, get inspiration to start and make sense of it all.
Just watch what everybody else is doing and just make sure you're giving back to the society.
Oof. This is the Captain's Arena.
taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Look Up, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu wa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza liko na ria wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hao sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi man.
Mpenzi mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji. Indeed, thank you so much for joining us back. Remember, it's a conversation on Down syndrome right here in the country. I'm really pleased to have Kezia right on set to really help us understand the context behind Down syndrome, a condition or a disease that now we have a caution that it's not a disease, it's just but a condition, and it's not infectious actually, right? Hawezi ambukiza mtu mwingine. Yeah, so let's interact with them, let's understand them. Now, what do you think about the Ministry of Health coming in to support Down syndrome patients across the country and really understanding how we can have the balance in the Ministry of Health and partnering with the government to really help this awareness come in the best way and the best heights possible. Remember, we are live across all social media platforms, www.lookuptv.co.ke, rather on Facebook at Lookup TV, as well as YouTube Lookup TV. Cheza kama wewe mapema ndio best is what do you think about now the story on the Ministry of Health coming in handy for the Down syndrome?
Now, the Ministry of Health.
Indeed.
First of all, I know one of the things that is screened during pregnancy is the likes of HIV and all that. How I wish they would incorporate early screening for these conditions. Not on ati pale mzazi ameuliza, but like let it be mandatory, like screening is there. I think that would save so much on the mental health of the mother or the parents if they knew or what they were expecting. These kids are also prone to conditions like pneumonia. They easily get sick. Sana flu. I wish there would be like some subsidized sort of health care for these special needs children. That would come a long way, and better access to therapy. Yes.
Of course, there are so many others that are in the society where it's not conducive. What's the best advice?
I wish that we had facilities. I wish we had facilities where, especially like, because again, I said most of these kids don't have the sense of danger. So if you're living in a flat, you have to constantly keep checking they don't jump, things like that. So I wish we had a facility where they are able to kind of walk with minimal danger. Yeah. Because we do not, there's one that I know, Kise, that is at Kasarani. I know it's a government institution that is doing excellent and it's supporting parents. I wish we had more and more accessibility. Yes.
There's also raising awareness on the stereotypes where the doctors also need to be considerate in how they speak to the parent, in how they interact with the parent, and of course in sharing the information about now your child has a particular problem, to embrace that situation. Uyo sasa what will be your take on that, for the Ministry of Health to really understand that this is a critical matter that should be tackled in a particular way?
Yeah, so first of all, yes, as we will give credit to the doctors. They do an amazing job in bringing forth, helping mothers bring forth these children and life in general. But still, as human as they are, sometimes the way they break the news. Personally, I remember the doctor telling me, "Weenda tu home, sioni mtoto ni kama hataitembea." That was like the second day of delivery, and I'm like, that is so blunt. Well, eventually the baby walked, but you keep remembering what the doctor said. You will also encounter challenges, especially when you go for these checkups. Maybe the baby is fussy and all that, and you can tell sometimes the doctor is getting irritated that the baby is not, settling down, is not being still, probably maybe for them to take the temperatures. And I think they need to be more empathetic. Yes.
In understanding that.
Delivering the news, the way you're talking to these people, they're already going through a hard time. The fact that, their mental state is kind of already shambled now.
Indeed.
So I wish there would be more, like the way you deliver the news, the way you talk to these parents would go a long way.
Maybe it's not the first time that she's delivering this baby.
Doesn't matter. It is my first time. Yes, it might not be your first time as a doctor, you've seen it. It's like in a case of death.
Indeed.
It's not your first time seeing someone die, but someone is getting affected somewhere. So watch the way you talk about it. Yes.
Is there awareness to that?
We do put it out there through the organization that we have formed, and even through such platforms, we really ask people to just watch what you're saying. Yes.
I'm seeing Dr. Kidalio in a quote, of course, when they were embracing the awareness for the Down syndrome. That is the Deputy Director of LCRH, and says the Down syndrome is not a disease but a lifelong condition. Now they are ready to support the parents of children with syndrome with the required health services. As per now, with the awareness now being created and with them understanding that this is the point of view, do you think the health ministry or the health sector countrywide is in a position to really adequately assist these patients to get good health care?
Well, we wouldn't complain. We are not where we were 2 years ago. A lot of awareness is out there. More mothers are coming openly to talk about it. We have seen more mothers join that organization. We are seeing more intervention and more health workers giving us the support. We see most of them, like in this month of 22nd, there are so many health workers who are coming to give a free camp to these kids with Down syndrome. And I think that is quite commendable. And as I said, there is a KISE, which is a government organization, which they do an excellent job. They've really, really tried. In terms of therapy, especially the hydrotherapy, they do a good job. Yes.
The program will create a database of Down syndrome patients and link them with the occupational therapist at maybe sub-county or the county or within the environment of that particular Down syndrome patient. As far as you're concerned, are there activities that are really happening to assist them? Maybe the parent isn't in a position to pay or to therapize the patient. What are the best suitable way that now the ministry can come in ensuring that every Down syndrome patient gets this particular therapist in occasionally or once in a while?
Create the facilities, and I would beg the government, make them free. Not every parent is able to pay for therapy. A private therapy session would go for 2,500, and probably you recommend it to have 3 in a week. That is, by any standard, is not something affordable for the average Kenyan. I wish the government would step in and in the counties, in the different counties, avail the facilities, let them be free. And as much as they're free, put people in there who who have the zeal to give this service. Because sometimes, yes, you'll be told the government services are free, but every time you go there, ni koti tu unapata kwa kiti.
Indeed.
And then there's someone following you telling you, ka unataka therapy, you unaniona kando, and then tuta arrange the zile siku utakuwa ukikuja. I wish we would get people who are genuine. Again, we will still get some quack therapists. They will come in and kind of course they know you are desperate to get therapy for this child. So kuna ule unaona hata Kenya anafanya aikai
hata wewe you doing it best.
It's not professional. Kuna wenye bado wanaokota do mtu ashaenda, like they didn't even give you the service. Well, yeah, it's a cruel world sometimes.
All right.
Yeah.
The Kenyan Ministry of Health recognizes Down syndrome as a lifelong condition, not a disease, and is committed to improving healthcare access and services for individuals with disabilities, including those with Down syndrome, through initiatives like developing inclusive policies and improving infrastructure. As to what you'd mentioned before, the facilities created, the health services improved, and of course we'll see the development coming in handy as far as the awareness now is propelled to the best heights. Now, recognizing Down syndrome is a lifelong condition. We now get to the bottom line of mental status of these caregivers or these moms. Now they receive the news. How do they balance their mental status to really have the articulation on point? That now, check, this one is here to stay.
So counseling. It's very difficult for someone to say or to recognize, I need this counseling. The support system could be your sisters, could be the fathers, could be the neighbors, the other moms. Try and take these moms, the new moms, to counseling. They need it because definitely they feel like they do not have support. And as I said, the first thing usually is denial because you didn't expect what you got. I'm also thinking of those very nasty terms that people will keep using. Mbona kwani kunaendaje? Like, calm down. Try and just, first of all, get to understand. And as I was saying, that's you kind of keep staring and things like that. And before I forget, that mental health also comes probably unknowingly. For example, we will go to church and the churches do not have the facilities to accommodate these children. For example, the toilet seats, because we say they have the low muscle tone. So you find that the toilet seat is down there. This child cannot squat. So definitely I'll just look at you guys and think you do not understand. And I'm going to stay with my child at home because you do not have the facilities. You have stairs. They cannot use the stairs. Provide facilities for that, because again, that is still making me wonder, do you not see? Yes.
Has the government really worked to ensure that these services are really working out?
Some not. Many public institutions within Nairobi, yes. Outside Nairobi, I would say no. Specifically schools, I don't think they've catered, especially in terms of the sanitation blocks. I don't think they have catered for that. They could do a better job. Supermarkets could also do a better job in terms of that. Churches, and I'm again insisting on churches, they can do that. And in terms of, like, when it comes to Sunday schools, make sure these kids are included. Don't insist that they sit with their parents because you feel they're too much to handle. Because I think those are some of the things that still come in very handy in terms of supporting the mental state of the parents, especially the moms.
Indeed.
Yes.
All right, the moms now require that particular support
every time. A lot of support, yes.
Every time.
A lot of support.
You speak so much about the moms. I wonder about the dads.
Primarily, I think caregiving has become, it's almost like a mother's job. So I think 80% of it affects the mothers. And you will find some of the mental issues coming up is because the mother cannot now work. As we said, these kids have a realized danger around them. Some are not able to walk. So even if the mother wants to go and probably afanya kibarua, they still can't go. Again, we said these are kids that are affected either by dust, baridi, juu ya pneumonia. So rather than expose the child out there, na hata una hiyo pesa ya kwenda hospitali, you'd rather stay indoors. So you can see how that is messing with the mental state. Yes. I'm not saying the dads are not affected. Definitely they are affected, because everyone wants to see their child grow and become, like follow the pattern that we are used to. I'm talking more especially about the mass, because I think primarily we know that's the duty, or it's a custody of moms. Yes.
I remember the theme for the year 2023 awareness in October, with us, not for us. That was the theme for that particular
syndrome T21.
Indeed.
Yes, with us, not for us. Don't support us from the periphery. Come and join us. Yes.
Right, but it also makes sense now.
Yes.
That these are people in the society, and they might become people, great people. Do you have leaders anywhere from the health sector or the government that want or really embrace this particular awareness?
Yes. We have seen them, many of them, and even the health sector, we've seen most of them, as I'm saying, like end of this month, we're having a free camp that has been organized by the health people. So yes, they do give support. They do give support. Yes. Yes, we've also seen one where they were registering the disability cards that was brought to the people. So those are some of the support things that we would really want to see more of, because it's really straining. It's really straining.
Since it's too expensive to to deal with it.
Very.
Please help us now bargain about it. Tell us about the prices and maybe the conditions that these patients have. Will also deter with the amounts that they have to pay or seek to the hospitals or the facilities. How much do we need, for example? Maybe if a parent is misinformed or do not know or wants to know, na huyu anaweza peleka hospitali gani? How can we channel that?
So the most expensive thing would be the therapies. As I'm saying, kwa gava utaambiwa ni sare, but it's not free. It will cost you in terms of, it's not as much. Now the other facility that I'm talking about is Kise. It's free, but now look at the distance, because not everybody is around Thika Road. They have excellent equipment, but now the distance, the accessibility to it, it means you have to travel. Again, remember, umtoi ata labda hatembei. Then again, something else with these kids, they have the low muscle tone inafanya, either they are obese. So again, if you're using public means, that means you either carrying them, you're taking an extra seat for them, and all that. Therapy kwa private sector utapata 2,500. There's the echo screening, the heart conditions. We have the ear, the ENT, because again they are prone to those conditions. So I wish the government would subsidize that. Yes.
Right. No prices mentioned?
We may not be specific, but I think the cheapest you will get is about 2,000 or 1,500, and that is a single session going for at most 2 hours.
Single session. So in that particular day, if you need a couple of sessions, utaona moto.
Utapewa tu hiyo moja, but unapewa like 3 days in a week. Yeah.
Someone that has this Down syndrome, can they get back to normal?
No, but they can live normally. They can live normally in terms of they can go to school, they can wash clothes, they can cook, that. But in terms of physical features changing, I think it's just the way they are.
Oh.
Yes.
So also washing clothes, of course, requires
they can
muscles.
Do it. Yeah, but with time, as we said, intervention in terms of therapy, so with time they're able to do those skills on their own. Yes.
T21?
T21 organization, we run campaigns throughout the year, so, but like the one you read, not for us, but with us. So we have initiatives like this particular month is, last year was walking. You walk, each step you support us. with the 100 bob. This
Each step?
Yes, each step.
Wow.
This year is laps, swimming. Yes.
They'll swim.
You swim and support us.
All right. I believe, of course, we invited. Then,
Yes, you are.
we'll come see how.
Definitely. Most welcome. Visit our social handles. That is T21. Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
For other support groups that also offer the same taste, what will be your advice to them? We're about to end the second session.
Yeah.
What will be your advice to every institution, the health sector, the government, in terms of understanding the balance here, these Down syndrome patients, and the caregiving aspect of all this?
So as we said, it's not a disease. No one can catch it. Number two, everyone has the potential as long as they're given the right support. So early intervention, support the caregivers, support the Down syndrome children, and I think at the end of it all, we'll have a better society. And raise awareness. Everywhere you go, raise awareness.
All right.
Yes.
Of course, the awareness is still on.
Yes, it is.
And of course, we can't wait to get to that event that you guys are hosting.
Yes.
You also mentioned something on the free camp.
Yes.
Please insist on that.
It's on March 22nd. Yes, where the kids are being tested on their hearing, the echo. Basically, it's health specialists coming together and giving these kids different tests. Yeah.
All right. In the future, in the near future, we'll be able to embrace all this. What about now this year, 2025? After all this, what is your expectation for the future and to the future as far as the awareness is concerned? Because we've been speaking about it, but there is still a need for the touch as well. What is your expectation for the future as far as Down syndrome awareness is concerned?
That more training can be done, and like awareness to do away with the stigma. The stigma that it's like a done deal for this child. Raising awareness to know that you can train them into what you think they can be, to get to their highest potential. And again, support from all sectors that help human beings become who they are, to reach their potential, from the Ministry of Health, Education, and the society at large. Yes.
So, Kezia, I want to give you a space now to make an appeal or advice. Just make your final statement to a parent that is watching us right now, a caregiver, a mom, a dad entirely, to embrace all this, that the aspect of the denial should be shunned away, then we have acceptance and of course moving on and embracing it to the best way possible. You can look at your camera right here.
Okay.
Then just talk to them as now a caregiver on the caregiving aspect.
Yes.
Then let them feel the taste on it, because of course this conversation will be useless if at all they will understand the chromosomal thing, the 21 thing, but they will not feel the touch of the caregiving aspect.
Yes.
Take your time.
Thank you. So I think to every caregiver out there, you are not alone. You will get the support that you need. You just need to reach out. Do not be ashamed of your child. Step up. Let that child know that they are loved and that they can amount to something. The world is behind you. Do not feel alone. Take them out there. Look for therapy and the facilities that can give that child the help that they need. And I think at the end of it all, we will be successful. Yes, thank you.
Indeed, that is so lovely, and thank you so much for your time and the emphasis on the Down syndrome. I believe that the awareness is still on.
Yes, it is.
You said about something on swimming.
Yes.
You'll swim as well.
Yes. So it's a campaign of as many laps as you do, then those who are sponsoring can then put an equivalent.
For the Down syndrome?
Down syndrome specifically. We are trying to put up an establishment, like a school sort of, which can be funded by people of goodwill that can help, that can act like a facility for the Down syndrome kids, because we know them better, we understand them better. Yes.
All right. I wouldn't have much ado for the same conversation, But ladies and gentlemen, now we've received the emphasis on Down syndrome as far as it is concerned. And of course, also the major concern is creating awareness and understanding the position that this particular condition holds. And above all, there's also an emphasis on this is not particularly a disease, but rather a condition. So we need to embrace all these patients in the best way possible. Now, there is no single standard treatment for Down syndrome. Treatments are based on each individual's physical and intellectual needs, as well as his or her personal strengths and limitations. People with Down syndrome can receive proper care while living at home and in the community, which of course Kezia had mentioned before. But allow me now for the emphasis of understanding. We also have common physical signs of Down syndrome, which include decreased or poor muscle tone, short neck with excess skin in the back of the neck, flattened facial profile and nose, small head, ears and mouth, upward slanting eyes, often with a skin fold that comes out from the upper eyelid and covers the inner corner of the eye. So if the parent sees all these, must raise a concern, right?
It's a concern and gets the help. Early intervention therapy goes a long way. Early intervention.
All right. Thank you so much, Kezia, for your lovely thoughts on the Down syndrome. Now, this has been a lovely conversation on the Morning Drift Health Tuesday. Remember, same time, same place tomorrow. See you there when we have now the social engagement. My director has been Duncan Orondo, and thank you so much, Edgar, for the lovely sound. See you next time. And Kunta Kinte, without forgetting, of course, the graphics design. Asante sana.